My wife cheated on me with my cousin and demanded we keep the family together for the kids. So I told the kids the truth and left them both. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reddit Visuals. Let me start by saying I never imagined my life blowing up at a backyard barbecue. I'm 42, a father of two amazing kids, and until recently, I thought I had a solid marriage. My wife Emily and I had been together for nearly 18 years. High school sweethearts, married by 24, and we built a life from scratch. She was my best friend. At least I thought she was. My cousin Mark and I grew up more like brothers than relatives. He was always around. Holidays, birthdays, spontaneous weekend cookouts. Our families were close, almost to a fault. He was the fun uncle to my kids, the guy who made everyone laugh at Christmas dinner. I trusted him with everything. Looking back, maybe I missed the signs. It started subtle. Emily began dressing up a little more than usual for casual hangouts. She'd get this nervous energy whenever Mark was coming over. I chalked it up to old friends just having fun. But then I started noticing whispers, glances that lasted too long, and the kind of private jokes that didn't include me. Then came the barbecue. We were hosting a small get-together. A few friends, neighbors, Mark, his girlfriend at the time, and of course, Emily. Everything seemed normal. The kids were running around, burgers were on the grill, and music was playing low in the background. I walked into the house to grab some drinks and passed by our laundry room. That's when I heard it. Low voices, hushed giggling, and a moan. I froze. It took me a few seconds to process what I was hearing and whose voices they were. I cracked the door open just enough to see them. My wife, my cousin, hands all over each other like they hadn't just been laughing with our families outside 2 minutes ago. I didn't say anything. I didn't scream. I didn't storm in. I backed away, heart in my throat, and quietly walked outside. The rest of that evening was a blur. I smiled, I served food, I even took photos. Because I needed time. Time to think. Time to make sense of what the hell I'd just seen, and time to figure out how to burn the bridge without setting my kids on fire. Over the next week, I gathered everything. Passwords, old texts, messages backed up on the cloud. It didn't take long. They were careless. There were months of messages, hotel receipts, photos, even a video. They'd been sleeping together behind my back for nearly a year, sometimes in my own house. While I was out working late, Mark was checking in on the family. The worst part? They joked about me, called me clueless, said I'd never leave because he's too good of a guy. Well, they were right about one thing. I was a good guy. But good doesn't mean stupid. I confronted Emily the following Sunday. The kids were at a friend's sleepover. I sat her down at the table, the same table we'd picked out together 10 years ago. And I said, I know about you and Mark. She didn't deny it. She didn't even look surprised. Instead, she cried, and then she tried to flip the narrative. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said, but it did. And we have to think about the kids. We can work through this. You can forgive me. You're a forgiving person. I asked her one question. If I had cheated on you with your cousin, would you be sitting here asking me to keep the family together? She didn't answer, just cried harder. Then she said something that snapped whatever was left inside me. They don't have to know. We can pretend nothing happened. It's better for them if we stay together. Pretend? She wanted me to pretend every day, in my own home, in front of our children. That betrayal doesn't matter. That trust is a fantasy. That night I didn't sleep. I sat in my car, in the driveway, staring at the dark windows of the house I no longer recognized. The next morning I took the kids out for breakfast. My daughter is 14, my son is 11, old enough to know something was wrong, old enough to deserve the truth. I told them everything, not in graphic detail, but honestly. I said Mom broke our marriage. I said trust was the foundation of a family, and that foundation had been destroyed. I told them I loved them more than anything, and that none of this was their fault. They cried. I cried, but they understood. My daughter whispered, I knew something was off. She was always texting him. And my son, he just hugged me and said, It's okay, Dad. We still have you. I moved out 2 days later. Not because I wanted to abandon my home, but because I couldn't breathe in it anymore. Every corner held a lie. Every room echoed with betrayal. Emily was furious. Not about the affair. No, about the fact that I told the kids the truth. She accused me of poisoning them against her, of manipulating them. She called me vindictive, said I was trying to ruin the family, but she ruined it long before I said a word. Mark, he tried to play the guilt card, said it just happened and that he never meant to hurt anyone. I didn't reply. I didn't punch him. I didn't scream. I just deleted him from every part of my life, and that silence hit him harder than any insult ever could. It's been 6 months now. The divorce is final. I have primary custody. Emily sees the kids on weekends. They don't ask to stay longer. Not yet. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. I never speak badly about her in front of them. I don't have to. They saw the truth unfold. Mark moved out of state. I heard through a relative that he and Emily didn't last long once the fantasy faded and the reality of what they'd done set in. Funny how betrayal burns brightest in the dark, but fizzles in daylight. As for me, I've started over. New apartment, new routine, therapy. I even signed up for a cooking class with my daughter. My son and I started building model airplanes together. There's still hurt, sure, but there's healing too. Sometimes people tell me I was brave for leaving, but I don't think it was bravery. It was clarity. Because the moment someone expects you to live a lie for the sake of appearances is the moment you realize they were never protecting the family. They were protecting themselves. So I told the truth, and the truth set all three of us free. Thanks for watching Reddit Visuals. If you've ever been forced to choose between protecting your peace or preserving someone else's lie, you're not alone. Drop a comment and let me know what you would have done. See you in the next one.